My name is Richard Sedano, and I work at RAP. I'm the director of the U.S. program at RAP, and I've been there for over 10 years. Before that, I was commissioner at the Vermont Department of Public Service, and I was that for almost 10 years, and was there for 16 years. I've been an engineer by training, and my first job was working in electric power plants in Philadelphia. I do a lot of work in the States. So basically, I feel like I'm a circuit rider or general practitioner doctor where the calls come in from any state and I'm trying to figure out what they need and how to help them. So that's probably the biggest part. We're also writing a lot of publications because we have a sense that there's, even though there's been so much written, there's still gaps and ways to say it better. And so we've identified a few ways to say it better and are trying to write some publications. The other thing that we do is we help the federal agencies, FERC, DOE, and EPA, and we try to think about the kinds of insights that they need to be more effective. We're not going to change their priorities, those come from the politics, but we can help them be more effective. We also find sometimes that states want to work together, and so we either work with groups of states in natural regions, or sometimes we actually cause regional activities to come together, and then in that way we can address several states' concerns at once. So lots of different ways that we work in the U.S. Technical assistance does sound like a vague term, but what it really means is settling in with decision makers and their staffs to help them think through their problems with solutions that we know something about or can imagine for them. So technical assistance might be helping them understand how to set up energy efficiency at a very basic level. There are some states that don't do very much, so they need the most basic insights about what to do. What does a Public Utility Commission actually do to oversee energy efficiency? That's a ground level kind of thing. A more advanced sort of thing might be, how do we implement smart grid and dynamic pricing in a way that's sympathetic to clean energy goals? So there's a lot of ways to do that, but only some of them are going to help clean energy. Renewables, we might be explaining how an interconnection process might work to make it easy for people who have renewables on their property, solar panels, maybe wind, maybe it's an industrial park that has a district energy system that's producing power. How does regulation get out of the way to allow that power to come into the grid? So there's all kinds of different ways that technical assistance can work to help states. One of the things that we see coming is the connection between energy and environment. And so trying to raise awareness about the connections between energy regulation and environmental regulation, allowing really both sets of officials to see that their best set of solutions comes through cooperation, is an important manifestation of what we do. One nice thing that we're doing these days is getting the energy and environment officials working together. And I guess I want to underscore how beneficial and also challenging that is, because each of them has their own culture, their own language, their own ways of doing things. And we're working on getting them to be more collaborative because we think there's an incredible amount of important synergy in having energy policy solve environmental problems and environmental policy solving energy problems. We've been working a lot with the Environmental Protection Agency on the way that they're going to write and implement their new clean air and clean water rules. And what we want is for states to have the flexibility to use energy efficiency as a compliance mechanism. And we want the states to receive that message clearly and to be able to manage their utility regulation to use energy efficiency for that reason and actually get more value out of the efficiency that they do. I'm very optimistic about the way the federal agencies are considering energy efficiency. I believe that this current administration wants to maximize energy efficiency as a compliance tool.